Coming from these Philly streets, walking to my own beat, telling noisemakers I won't compete, cause I know I'm gonna be a beast. I go hard for what I want, I go hard for what I need. Travel.
Hello, and welcome back, beautiful souls, to the face behind the brand, where we shine a light on powerful stories, journeys, and wisdom of extraordinary entrepreneurs. Today, I have the absolute honor of sitting down with the phenomenal woman who embodies grace, grit, and guides guidance. None other than Miss Denise Day, aka Miss Day All Day. Denise is a vibrant CEO of Denise Day Consulting, where she empowers women 40 and over to break barriers and embrace their greatness in faith, finances, fitness, and business. With over 30 years of expertise as a training specialist, transformational speaker, and coach, Denise helps women boldly step into entrepreneurship, create online businesses, self publish their stories, and walk confidently in their purpose, all while keeping God first. Now, y'all, get ready for a conversation packed with encouragement, real talk, and divine inspiration. Because remember, it's never too late to get your money, business, or life straight. So let's welcome the unstoppable Miss Day All Day. Hi, Miss Day.
Hello, Queen. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, and yourself. I'm loving that purple.
Thank you. Thank you. I am
And thank
so
you for
blessed to be
coming
here.
on. Yes. So let me just start off. I'm going to actually go ahead and just start off with asking, you often say faith over fear and God first. How has faith shaped your business journey?
Oh, that is good. That is good. I believe, honestly, from the depths of my soul, I know that God has guided everything, every step. And so when I retired, right? You know, I'm 62 years young. I retired after 32 years of civil service with the Navy. And at the pandemic, it was in 2020. And that's
Mhm.
when my entrepreneurial journey started because I felt like I still had service in me. There were still things that I wanted to do. And, you know, I was up late and learning and looking at the YouTube University and understanding online business. And so,
Mhm.
girl, I wish I would have got into it a little even more earlier than now, but it's never too late, right?
Right,
So that's
right.
my message. It's never too late. And when I really realized that putting God first and praying about what my niche was going to be, what
Mhm.
area that I want to serve, whom did I want to serve, then I really had to do that. But not only in business, but my whole life has been a faith walk. And especially over these last 20, 25 years, because I am a three-time cancer survivor. I've had breast cancer in 2012, 2022, and just in February of this year of 2025, I just had a lung cancer surgery. So to be up and to be sitting here and just blessed and in my right mind to be able to talk to you and be proactive and still think about business is a blessing.
It
So I
is.
give God all that honor and grace and just for covering me. So I want to share my faith walk and let people know how I put it in God's hands and He keeps bringing me through because He's not done with me yet. And being 62, you know, it's never too late. I still have a lot to offer, a lot of life experiences, business, and relationships and love. You know, honey, I found that love of my life. I got my girl is 55, so don't play with it. Do not play with it. We were both 55 and after two divorces, and I know I'm skipping all over the place, but girl, I'm just excited about it. But that's my girl. I told God about it. I want to be in love before I die. And
Right.
God, you give you desires of your heart because we
Right.
are fearfully and wonderfully made. So
Right.
honing in on the scripture, trusting God, one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 3, 5 through 7, trusting in the Lord with all my heart, leaning not to my own understanding, in all of my ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct my path. And it's
Mhm.
been true. Yes.
Mhm. That is awesome. And you are a blessing because you done went like what you went through. Like some people would have given up, but you kept it going and keeping that spirit. That's just so awesome. So what inspired you to start Denise Day Consulting and focus on women 40 and over?
Well, that again was that main journey because, like I say, I'm 62 years young, right? And so when I thought about it, after I retired after 32 years of service, I was 57 then during the pandemic time, and I'm locked in. And I'm just thinking about women. It first started about women supporting women
Mm-hmm.
because it saddens me at times to find out and to just visually see, and from my own experience, that
Mm-hmm.
women don't always support women. And for some ungodly reason, sometimes women are just, they can be in their insecure bag. They could be feeling some kind of way and they just don't have it in them. And so that comes out. But I wanted to bridge that gap. I wanted to bring women together to where we can support one another and we can rise. Because if I'm winning, you winning. If I'm rising, you rising. Right. And that's within families, it's within business, it's within the workplace. So that really made me want to do it. And I'm feeling like women of my good ripe age, we have wisdom and we can share that knowledge and share that wisdom. And I really wanted to grab the 20 somethings, right? Because I wanted them in there, but I wanted to encourage my sisters that's over 50. It's not over. We all have gifts and talents. But at the same time, I kept hearing, get in your niche, get in your lane. But I wanted to get the 20 somethings because, like I said, I got something I could share. I could talk to you about business, about love, about faith, about fitness, about being your own advocate for your body when something's going wrong. Don't let nobody talk you out of it. But
Mm-hmm.
then at the same time, I kept hearing, get a niche and stick with that. So that's where I decided I was going to pick up on the women that are 50, that sometimes they think it's too late, it's over, I don't have anything to say, but you do. Your life experiences it is a treasure, and that treasure can get you paid. For that extra stream of income, we all need it. Thank God I got a pension, and I'm applying for my Social Security, but some people are not going to have a pension. So you got to start thinking about what's that other service? What's that thing that I love that I could share with somebody? And for me, it's sharing, it's talking, it's training. So that's what made me know that's my field that I love to share and be of service. I even have a ministry background, but some of that church hurt and some of that insecurity in the church, it'll run you off, but I'm not going to let it run me from my relationship because I'm no longer in religion. I'm in relationship. It's not horizontal with man or people, it's vertical with God. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm honing in on. But I knew that I had a lot to share and to let the women know. And when we get to the fitness part, I'm going to talk about that because not only was it this cancer, but I had a brain tumor, honey, the fibroids. My body done been through it. And I thank God, girl, I don't look like what I've been through. Okay. Okay. That part.
They're right. Now, how can women over 40 tap into their passion and purpose even if they feel like they're starting over? Because some people get stuck in that I don't want to start over phase.
Yeah, no, you got to release that. And see, some things we got to release. Like one of my people I follow, he said, just shake it off. He be saying, shake the haters off, but you shake it off and you have to have that confidence. If and let me say this before I say anything. If you think about it, what is the one thing that you know that you do well, that you're passionate about? Right? If you do that passionate thing that you know you love, you do well, it's not work because you're doing what you love. And so when you in that realm, it's all cylinders are firing, right? You see how I get so excited when I'm talking about something? That's because that's my nature. That's what I love to do. I call myself a chatty Cathy. Honey, I'm chatty Cathy and my husband is chatty Chuck. Right? And we just love people. People are drawn to us. Chatty Cathy and Chuck, girl, we be getting at it. I'm gonna get him on the podcast with me too. Real talk with Mrs. J all day. But girl, we love it. But whatever that skill set is, we talked about that today. You are so knowledgeable. You have all of this business insight, all of this inside knowledge. Sometimes we'll talk ourselves out of our gifting because we think, well, don't nobody want to know that, or everybody already got that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. What you already know and what I already know, we already a few steps ahead of somebody else, but it's our purpose and our passion to share it with them. And the
Mhm.
good news is somebody will pay us for our knowledge.
Mm.
That's the good news. And I think that once you get out of your head, because you mentioned that I'm into coaching, this is what God showed me, that not
Mm.
only am I a good trainer and a coach, what specific kind of coach is confidence building, resilience training and coaching. That you done been through something, you might have got knocked down and smacked down, but get back up. I've been through a lot, but I get back up. My ribs still swollen right now. I called my doctor last week. How is this still supposed to be like this at 4 months out? He's like, yeah, but we're going to get together and talk about it. But when you know that you have been through some things, your testimony, because it's without a test, there is no testimony. And somebody is dying to hear your story and to know that there's a way out. And that I've been divorced twice, but the third time, honey, once I let Bozo go, then Boaz was able to show up. That part. A man
Mm.
that loves me, cooks for me 3 times a day, does my laundry. Not only does he do it, he folds it. I just have to
Mm.
put it away. And I asked God about it. I want to be in love. I want to do this. But to me, that's the relationship part. Share that with somebody. Somebody needs to hear that. And we don't have to be in this place of desperation. I was there before too. But to talk about my story and share my resilience, how I came out of a brain surgery talking, that's the relationship with God. Didn't lose no taste in my mouth, didn't go blind in this right eye, and woke up talking. And
Mm.
to be through breast cancer each time, stage one, and I found it just by rubbing my chest. I didn't even wasn't even doing my breast exams properly. And Ananda Lewis just had died. So I'm gonna do a training about that to just share and let people know just how blessed we are, and to
Mm.
that we cannot just sit down on our gifts. We got to tell our stories and let people know this second breast cancer, it was a stage zero. I didn't even know cancer came in a stage zero. But I believe God preserved me for such a time as this. That's why I
Mm.
call myself Esther. Read that scripture, Esther 4:4. For
Mm.
such a time as this, we're preserved to share our passion. And when you get out that box, don't worry about who don't like it. How am I going to look in front of the people? People going to say this. Those people have no heaven or hell to put you in. But if God called you to share a word, that is your calling,
Mm.
because I've been on hold and pressing pause for a couple of years because I had some haters from my class. Girl, you know how many years ago I graduated and I was dealing with these people? It was 44 years ago. Tried to bring them back together in 2020 for a reunion, and it was the same ugly spirit. And everybody is not meant to go where God's trying to take you. And whomever your tribe is, they going to gravitate to you. Those are the people. Don't worry about the people who don't want to be able to hear what you're saying, because there are a whole lot of us that do.
Right.
I know
Yeah.
that was a whole lot. I hope that answered it.
Right. Yes. So, how do you encourage your clients to build their self confidence when they're stepping into new territory?
First of all, to really just look in the mirror and start giving yourself some positive affirmations, to get
Mm.
in the word and start knowing what God says about who you are.
Mm.
Individuals and other people, that don't matter. He made you in his image. We are fearfully and we're wonderfully made. Okay,
Mm.
so when you look in the mirror and look at yourself, start out in the morning when you wake up and give yourself a high five in the mirror. I'm all right. I'm doing good today. I woke up and it's going to be a great day, because what you language out of your mouth is what you put into the atmosphere. When you start speaking over your life, and you got to watch what you're saying. You can't be saying all this. And this, I'd say this: stop saying what you can't do. Stop
Mm.
saying I can't, because that is negative. You don't want to do that. You just start addressing your language and put into verbiage what you want to have happen. And
Mm.
that is the beginning of you building that confidence, standing flat footed. I got affirmations taped to my mirror in my hallway right now that says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a bold, beautiful woman. I am who God's called me to be. I'm no longer going to play small so other people can feel big. And if
Mm.
you're around people that's trying to make you feel small so that they can feel big, get away from them and you can move on with grace. You don't have to do that. And a lot of times we stay in those environments, but set boundaries for yourself and then stand in you and who you know you want to be. You
Mm.
claim that. And I do this by looking in the word. Like I said, the word of God tells me who I am, who I'm called to be. And even the girl, if I ain't got on a wig or a head wrap, my husband will still tell me I'm beautiful. Okay.
Right.
I'm not playing about it because I know who I am. I'm not going to worry about people who don't even want to see me do better have an opinion of me. If you have a negative opinion of me, that's none of my business. How about that? It's none
Right.
of my business. That's on you. But for me, as for me in my house, we're going to serve the Lord. We're going to keep moving and we're going to do what God called us to do.
Right.
But
Now,
I
what
think it
is
starts
your
with me.
non-negotiables? What is your non-negotiables for staying healthy and balanced as a businesswoman?
Oh, that's a good one, sis. Wow, I'm just really, again, I had to do a reset to start on my non-negotiables because I think getting more rest right now for me is what it is because I'm very nocturnal. I like being up late at night. I can do my best work, get into YouTube. I start getting to work at 10 p.m. and then I
Mhm.
want to go lay down about 3 or 4. My husband be calling me from the bedroom, babe. What are you doing? Are you okay? Okay, okay. But when I had my last surgery, when I came out of cancer surgery, I really was feeling it. My doctor told me it was going to be painful because him and the robot had to get in there and separating ribs and whatnot. But I was going to bed at a decent hour. Because I maybe when I was in pain, I was taking me some pain medication and I was getting rest. So I was going to bed at 9:30 and then I would get up like at 9 or 8 in the morning. And being retired helps. But then now that I'm feeling a little better, I'm still sore, but now I feel myself reverting back to those old nocturnal ways.
Mhm.
Going to bed at 3 or 4. I went lay down this morning at 6 a.m. and then I had to get up at 11 because we had an appointment. But I think getting my rest and being balanced, and that's why I'm excited about the fitness side. I used to be 237 pounds. I lost 77 pounds. I've kept it off for 7 years now. Yes, praise God. You know about our fitness journey. We're going to do
Mhm.
some fitness stuff too. But
Right.
I love it. But I know that it's just been the grace of God that I haven't. I went vegan for 18 months at one time. Then we fell off the wagon. And so I got to get my eating habit back in line with what this body needs. Because that's what God is showing me that a lot of bad food. And then I got an ebook about sugar, living sugar free, but you got a lot of different alternatives. I love fruits. We're juicing. So that's how my authorship came, doing juicing, smoothie, sugar-free living, fit over 50. And those ebooks were helping guide me, but I wanted to help other women as well. But setting some boundaries around my life. I can't continue to be willy-nilly and doing whatever when I know that I got to get that balance. So thank you for bringing that up because I'm saying next week I'm going to do the living good 21 days. I'm just getting back. I want to go back to go into intermittent fasting, 16/8, eat 8 hours a day, fast for them 16. Half of them 8, you sleep anyway. But I really want to get back on track. And I'm thankful that I have not gained back a bunch of weight, but my sleep and out of balance with that. But I had to set boundaries. Let me add this about my own mental health because I have a couple of siblings that are mentally ill. And one in particular, one that I just had to love at a distance. The other one, I'm coming to that same conclusion, but I allowed her mental illness to continually antagonize me. And I'm
Mhm.
no longer going to do that. So I set some real boundaries. And I
Mhm.
think it's really shocking her, but I got to do it for me. I
Right.
can't just keep, up and down with people, especially when sometimes they're manipulators. They
Mhm.
play the game. We got a narcissist over here and a manipulator over there. That's not serving my life. It don't serve my husband either. Although sometimes I pass the one sister off to him because she don't play them games with him, and he's
Mhm.
very patient. The
Mhm.
yin and the yang. But see, I'm yanged out. I got that.
That's too funny. Now, what you say, that is so crazy because a lot of family go through those different things where you have some people who, you're feeling like, okay, you always have that saying like, but we're family. So we feel like we have to tolerate certain things because we are family. But then it's like, okay, but if I'm dealing with you and this is dealing with, and it's hurting me mentally or keeping me in a dark place, I mean, I should stay away from you because of the fact that it's not keeping me healthy. So do you feel like, so you saying that people shouldn't feel bad if they have to stay away because that's for their own safety net, right?
Yes. And that's the part. That's the part. See, that's another balancing act because sometimes we get caught up and we start feeling guilty because we're no longer going to tolerate it. But I'm
Mm,
telling you, I dealt with this. This was 40, almost 45 years of this that I have gone through with my sister who is really, she's manic depressive. She's got a lot of stuff going on, bipolar, manic depressive. And then so one is medicated, one is not. But the
mm,
conclusion that I even went into therapy with the other one, like when she was dealing with her therapist, we had a day where I would get on the phone with her therapist so she could talk to me and give me coping skills and how to deal. And when my mother died, it really became a guilty pressure that was on me, right? And so
mm,
then I thought I was like, wow. But now the other one, unfortunately, I call her Chucky. But now that Chucky has stepped up and been more in the paid role in her
mm,
life, where I was more in the role in taking care of my mom before my mom passed. But I had to get that off of me because it was to the point. And I said I'm going to do a YouTube video for my Mrs. Day All Day channel when
mm,
mental illness is not yours. Because
mm,
I was carrying her and her mental illness like it was mine. And
mm,
every time they turn or flip on me, I got to be the same one that's given a 70 times 70. Forgive them again, forgive them again. But when it
mm,
gets to be a game for them and just envy and manipulation, narcissism was what this one's dealing with. And then this one is manipulating. And it just kept bringing me out of my good spirit. You for the year or so that you've known me, you know the kind of easygoing spirit that I am. I don't
okay.
wake up in the morning talking about who can I just come at, who I'm gonna make feel rotten, what can I do negative. I'm looking and talking about who can I serve, who
Right.
can I help today.
Mm,
And it was just bringing me back. It was bringing me down. And I'm no longer accepting anybody else's mental illness. And what
mm,
I told my oldest sibling is that I pray for you every morning. When I'm
mm,
doing my morning prayer, God had to show me that this is out of your hands now. This is not my lane. And sometimes we want to operate in God's lane. And he's saying, no, stay in your lane. Do that with relationships. If I'm in this lane over here, you over here, if everybody stay in their lane and we trust in God, there will be no wrecks. But as soon as you start getting out your lane, I'm gonna cut over here, I'm gonna get in your business, and I'm gonna cut back over here. Now you got all kind of collisions. And
mm.
that's when the friction starts. And for me, you hear this little country accent, girl. I can be very articulate when I get in the meeting, but I can get you some finners and whatnots because I'm from St. Louis, right? And girl, that's St. Louis vibe, that energy where you're not gonna disrespect me because that's a trigger. That was a trigger from childhood, abandonment, disrespect. And if
Mhm.
somebody you love that I'm helping, you're gonna do that to me, keep doing that to me. So at some point you have to cut it off. So I say, I love you from a distance. I pray for you always, and I give it to God because some stuff is God's business. Mental illness in my relative, my siblings, that's God's business. That is
Mhm.
no longer Denise's business. And especially when they hating on me because I'm happy because I got a king day. Okay. So
That is so real. And it's so sad because a lot of people go through that, not just with family, with associates, friends, and different things. And then you have some people who are just, their mental illness, they're so negative about everything. So when you talk to them, it's just always in a complaint. And so it's like, okay, are you happy about anything? And then you start feeling like you're depressed now just being around a person. And you're
and now
like,
you got a dark cloud following you around like that kid in the Peanuts cartoon with a cloud just raining on you. I
right,
don't like that kind of energy. My
right.
husband laugh and joke. We have a good time. I got him over here, but some days looking at the housewives of Atlanta laughing and just fun crap. It's not, I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to feel guilty about it. That's the most freedom that I had. I talk about it in
Right.
my Lord's behavior group. I let that go. I'm letting
Mhm.
it go, girl. I done did that, been there, done that,
Mhm.
supported people through the pandemic, caring about people, giving money, giving my retirement, hoping people was good. Girl, I'm sick. You think any of them demons calling and checking on me? But don't worry about it. I had a little boy. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. We good. I
All
love you.
right.
distance. That's between you and Jesus.
Right. Now, what is one lesson about wisdom you wish every woman could embrace sooner?
Wow. Okay. And you specifically said women. Okay. The one lesson that I wish all women could embrace sooner is that unity and inclusion with another woman could really be your power. It could be a power tool for you. You don't have to have envy nor jealousy when it comes to another woman, because whatever God has for you, it's for you. And if you really linked with another woman of value, now, I'm not saying nobody ain't got no value, because some folks that's out here just running and being reckless. I'm not
Right.
saying, you got to have a spirit of discernment.
Mhm.
Discernment. Ask God to give you a spirit of discernment so you can see things. You can see things that's not always just right there in front of you. But if you saw me or you saw Sister Denise over here, we the two Denises. If you just saw us and you see how we move and how we operate, and you wanted to make a connection with us, that it wouldn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be any insecurity, because that very woman that you're hating on, she could be power in your life. That could be a mentor for you that can take you on a trajectory that you didn't even see coming. And a lot of time the enemy will play tricks on your mind and say, oh, she thinks she all that. She thinks she didn't. No, if I had a prayer and a wish for all of us, it's that we would clear our minds of insecurity and be able to make a connection in unity, especially in our community. And don't be so defensive. If somebody's trying to share something with you, then be open to that. If that's something of value for you, if not, treat it just like fish with bones. Chew the fish and spit the bones out. But a lot of times, women could help other women. And it's so valuable. But that would be my one wish. Because a lot of times I see women looking at me, I could feel the spirit. If you got a spirit of just angst and anxiety, but see, everybody can't handle all this bling. Everybody can't take these purple lips and this big old smile. But see, they don't know what I've been through. They don't know that I'm happy to still be in the land of the living, and that I have an anointing on my life to share. Everybody can't handle that. But if you can't, you just keep on going. But those of us that's gonna connect, we gonna get together. We in a sisterhood now. It is what it is. We finna do a dual podcast. Okay. We
And but
helping
before
each other.
we can go any further, I need you to show them nails, because them nails are standing out.
Okay, y'all like my nails. Okay, let me tell you about the nails real quick. And this is another form of it could be of a side hustle, because these nails are Amazon nails. I paid $6.98 for these nails. These are
Wow.
Amazon ones. And girl, I love them. And they're in my Amazon store. I'm gonna start promoting my store. All kind of stones and everything you find in there. I was out here at the casino. I'm from Las Vegas. And this lady was loving my nails. She said she paid $120 to get her nails done. What? Everybody ain't at when I don't want to. I just go there to get my toes done at the shop. But girl, I told her about these, and just I'm gonna do a whole nother video just putting alcohol, buff them up, put alcohol on my nails, and I use the brush glue. I brush it on and I press this on for 10 seconds. These nails will be on for 2 weeks. And I wash and sanitize my hands continuously, right? And if somebody thinks they're gonna pop off, girl, I roll. I don't leave home without my glue. I will press the subjection, okay? But and I love purple, and these are kind of chromies.
They almost look like a mood color, like it goes with the like. Yeah.
But just imagine some young sister that could be a mobile nail tech. You can have all kinds of get your client to pick their nail. You come to their house, buff their nails, do their thing, and do it. But I know some moms can't do that because they have the babies, or they maybe submerged in water all the time, but still put some gloves on. I'm submerged in water all the time, and mine do 2 weeks, $6.99. Okay, Amazon.
Y'all hear that right? She can give y'all some deals right there.
Thank you, though. Thank you for the compliment.
Now, you say you wish people ask more. How did you get to this point besides God's grace? What practical steps have you that helped you with getting to where you're at now? What practical steps?
With in the area of confidence, or just doing the businesses and whatnot? I think that it was for me, honestly, I think that it was I was born into it because
Mm,
my mom was very just a strong woman, single mom, three daughters. She had two jobs. My mom was a militant, you could say, right? At one point, she was a member of the Black Panther Party. She had
mm,
it was living in apartheid St. Louis. Ain't nothing but another baby apartheid. She had to fight for housing. She had to fight to go to nursing school, to go from an LVN, a LPN back then, I think it was, to going to be
mm,
an RN. So she always had that in her. And I remember at 9 years old, my mom said to me one time, and this served me when I got to work for one of the most racist organizations in the Navy when I was in Monterey, California at Fleet Miracle. It came in place. She said to me at 9 years old, when you walk into a room, you look the person in their eyes and you give them a firm handshake. And if you're not itching, you don't start scratching. And if you're not moving, walking, your feet don't start shuffling. And I looked at her, I was like, wow. So I'm hearing that. And then, but that made me get into it, it instilled in me that I need to come in a room with my head up and be a presence in a room and don't let anybody disrespect me. Because that was a part, like I said, of that childhood. Even with the two siblings, they was rough. But then, even with not having that relationship with my dad and just feeling like I used to be a people pleaser, I wanted everybody to be good. I told you that's how I kind of ran into the brick wall in the pandemic with my money, but wanting everybody to be good, but they not caring about me. But when
mm,
I got the confidence to know who I am, and on that job, they didn't like me because I'm coming in there. I know my job. I'm good at my job. I'm taking care of the people, but they tried to hold me back in my positions of my promotion. And they
mm,
talk about DEI. DEI is with the people that's sitting in there. Some of them at my old place, they was Caucasians. It wasn't about the people of color running it. But I
mm,
had to get in my spirit who I am and whom I belong to, and just stand in that, whether they like me or not. Because,
mm.
like you said, you're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But I
Right.
built my confidence through my mother from the inside out. And
Mm,
then if you don't like it, that's okay. You just miss out on getting to know me and how cool I am and how I could have helped you.
mm-hmm.
But
And
it
that's
is
so
real
real.
good. Huh?
That's so real because a lot of times people will you would distance yourself and go away from somebody all because of your own personal hangups when you really could have built and really came together to make something real successful all because of your own personal hangups. And I see that so much in people when it
Yes.
comes into like, and we could have been a power team, but our team fell apart all because of your own ego or your own, you feel like you got to always be at the top and you can't, you don't want to see nobody else shine. And it's just so sad when it comes to that point because it's some people that really could be power teams out there.
Yes. And that is real, that part. But that,
Mhm,
you know what God told me when I was trying to get these women and get them together and help them and get some, it didn't, even if it wasn't a full-blown business, but whatever your gifting is, do that and do that to get your, have like a side hustle or whatever that thing, another stream of income. Who don't want to get paid for what you enjoy? But then in that
mhm,
moment, God told me, lead the people out. Girl, they put me want to put me out the Facebook group because I'm too positive. I'm talking about business and growing and positive, putting the word out there and encouraging somebody in their spirit. They just wanted to talk about who birthday it was and who died. Well, guess what?
mhm,
I'm not dead and I know when my birthday is coming. Okay. So, all right, get on out of here. But God said, I'm going to put you in environments where you're going to grow. I'm going to get you in rooms with people that are like minded. My name is being spoken in rooms that I ain't even walked in yet.
mhm.
And I know it because God ordained it. And that,
Yes.
I'm telling you, Barry, right now. And just like when I
Mhm,
met you, it was instant. We were
mhm.
supposed to be buddies for a 3-week period. And God, he's like, no, no, here, this here, here. And so many similarities and
Mhm,
caring and kindness. Ain't nobody insecure. What I tell
mhm.
you last time, man, every time I get off with you, I'm learning something new. We dropping gems. Hey, did you hear this? Did you know about that? Okay, let's do it like this. That's
Right.
what God say. Lead them people back there where they at. Don't be like Lot's wife. Don't even look back, because you'll turn
Right.
to a fierce healing with these people in the desert.
Right.
I'm
And it's
sorry.
okay. I said it's so it's sad because I had to learn myself when it came to stepping away. because I had a hard time letting people go. That was one of my problems, because it's like, when you're trying to do stuff and you want to see everybody come up and you want to put everybody on, you want to give everybody information, but then it's like you start realizing everybody is not wanting to receive that. You have some people who will act like they want to do it, but then in there they really don't want to do it. They rather stay where they at because they want to be comfortable. And I was just like, but I guess with all the different things that I've been through, living comfortable is like you can't do that, because when one little situation happened, now you living in a situation. You're not living comfortable no more. You know what I mean? Because some people get on they set on that check that they may get, and it's like, okay, but if this one thing happened, that car breakdown, or your house, or something happened within your house, or a bad situation happened, that may not be enough money to help for everything. But you can't. Then some people just get stuck on comfortability, and that's where I was like, okay, I have to stop pushing so much and realize, just like you said, stay in the places that where people is on the same mindset, and stop trying to push people to be in something that they don't want to be into.
Amen. If I had my mic in here, I would drop it. Listen to this though, and this I heard this a long time ago, and it is so true that when you think about who you are and you think about those people that you had to let go, and we want to coddle them, we want to hold them, but sometimes we gotta let them go, because see, eagles were not meant to fly to hang around chickens. See, chickens were meant for the barnyard, and what they do is that they go around all day and they pick at poop. That's what a chicken do all day long. It's just walking around with other chickens picking at poop. But eagles were meant to soar. And if you even get a visual of an eagle in your mind, even when a storm is coming, an eagle don't panic. What that eagle do is it'll start ascending. It let the wind lift it up over the storm. An eagle will still be flying and circling over that storm until it dissipates. It cannot hang out with chickens, because that chicken will try to peck your eye out. Why? And think, come on, I'm gonna just leave it right there. Just get that visual in your mind.
Just drop it.
You are a regal eagle, just of a royal lineage. Oh, you see, I love this purple. A royal lineage cannot run with a pack of chickens.
Exactly.
Because they still gonna be chickens, and a chicken can't even fly. It can't get off the ground. But we be hovering around. We want, come on, trying to pat it on his head, want to pull it by its edges. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. And Lord said, if you don't stop pulling people by their edges and by their edges, I'm gonna smack you in the face. Holy Ghost had to check me. Let them be. They okay. They don't want to do this. They don't even like you. Stop.
Right.
And it's okay, but I still pray for them. I ain't got no odds with nobody. Because if you don't have forgiveness and you don't let stuff go, girl, your prayers bouncing off the ceiling. You think all this energy and stuff I got going, I'm gonna let it bounce. Girl, no. And today, oh girl, I'm just so excited. I can't wait to tell you about the government contracts my sister done got here today. She could be a purchasing agent, done got government contracting ability now. You know we got some jobs and things lined up. Don't play with it. And you think I'm gonna be running after chickens?
Right. I love it. Now, what's one myth about entrepreneurship over 40 that you love to bust out today? A myth that you just want to let's squash it today for entrepreneurship over 40.
I will bust it out and I'm gonna throw it in your lap. That you cannot start a business over 40, or you need a whole bunch of money to do it. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And I think that people are to start legitimizing their businesses, because all of this doing business under the table. I'm going to pay so-and-so under the table. I don't want no records. I don't want it to be known, but you leaving more money on top of the table. That's why, what was the profit and loss statements when all that money was out here and people couldn't even set their businesses up properly? They didn't even have the paperwork. But then a lot of people let people jam them up and get them into stuff without being legal. I think the biggest myth is you got to have a whole bunch of money to set up a legitimate business, and that is not true. They need to go to your website and you plug it in right there so they can learn how to do business legitimately. At least get your
Mhm.
business license. Do it step by step. Then you see that little LLC over the back of your head. Then take that next step up. Get your LLC. But the business license is what's there. And it's not Nevada and Delaware, from what I understand, the most expensive states to getting your
Mhm.
LLCs and your licensing. But $51 for Missouri, $60 over here. Why would you not be legitimate and legal? I think
Mhm.
that's the biggest misconception. And people hear other people feeding that into their ears because they don't want you to have your business. So get with
Mhm.
somebody like Miss Denise Murray over here that can help you establish your business properly and then do it legally. And then you can get some tax refund. MacBook Air, this MacBook Pro Air I'm on right now, this here iPhone, all my phones come up under my business, okay? When I
All
have
the
to leave town,
write-offs. All
and
the
the plane
write-offs.
don't play with it, and got to do
Exactly.
an air flight to go out of town to do business. That's a
Mhm.
business flight. That's a write-off. Get with
Mhm.
me and get an understanding and stop listening to people trying to talk you out your business and your purpose. Okay,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stay focused. I'm sorry.
Yes. Now, if you can leave our listeners with just one message, what would it be?
My message would be to live your dream. Go after your dream, whatever that looks like, because you only get one life. And I know, like I done told y'all a lot of my medical history. I done been through it and around it. But God
Mhm.
has blessed me to still be here, to get your confidence together, to feel, to know who you are. Don't let anybody define who you are. And know that the gift that you have, somebody is willing to pay you for that gift because
Mhm.
you know somebody does not know that thing that you know. So pray about it, ask God, what is it? And even if you're coming from a place of service, that you want to be of service in your community, in your church, even some in your family, you can be mentors to people in your family. But if you
Mhm.
got that toxic stuff, don't let that worry you. Let it go. But live your life for right in this present moment. That's what they say. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Today is a present. That's why they call it, it's a gift. So
Mhm.
walk in that, know that you can do this, that it's not beyond your means. And if you do and enjoy, do something that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, you will never work another day in your life
Mhm.
because it's just fun from that point. And one of my mottos is that it's never too late at 62 years young. It's never
Mhm.
too late to get your faith, your fitness, your finances, your business, or your relationship straight. It is never too
Mhm.
late. And it's upon you to do it. You can't expect nobody else to feel that happy void, but you got to go for it and you set boundaries and have a standard. Set a standard
Mhm.
and go for it.
Just like
That's
that.
what I would
Just
say.
like that. now,
And we
now,
can
what is
agree.
something that you Yes. Now, what is something that you want to promote? Like, is there something that you have in the workings right now that you can tell anybody about?
Well, what I would say right now is that I know I'm getting ready to get more active. I am active on social media. My
Mm,
YouTube page is Mrs. Day All Day. MRS, you see it down at the bottom, but it's all together. Mrs. Day All Day is my YouTube channel. Mrs. Day All Day is my Instagram handle. And Mrs.
mm,
Day All Day is also my TikTok. So,
okay.
and I'm working, I got a LinkedIn, which is Mrs. Day with Denise Day, but I'm
Mm,
working on this because I'm revamping them. My YouTube channel, I want it to be more structured, but still go out there right now. Please go click and subscribe. Me
mm,
and Nisi was talking about this recently. I'm getting ready to start doing my lives once a week. My podcast is going to be listed on my YouTube, and that's going to be Real Talk with Mrs. Day All Day with conversations in all five of those areas: fitness, faith, finances, business, and relationships. Because, honey, if you're looking for love, I'm going to talk to you about how to get it and how I got mine.
mm.
But you're
Hey.
guests on like DC, my
Mhm.
fitness, we're doing couch yoga for us that are older, and just getting up in age, and that they ain't really trying to sweat and run. And I ain't trying to run till I drop. I'm not a runner. I got hula hoop girl. I got a weighted hula hoop. She's a yoga girl. But I really, those are my handles. The Mrs. Day All Day is my main one. But please go to my website. It's mrsdayallday.com. And I'm revamping my webpage. I created it myself through my PayHip. But within there is where I have my ebooks. I have 7 ebooks. I have Fitness Over 50, Juicing for Health, Smoothies, and there's 20 recipes in each of those. The kicking the sugar habit, because I've been a sugar addict. I am a sugar addict. I got to kick that habit. And then I got 3 cookbooks for vegan, plant-based, and keto. And I produced all 7 of those ebooks. I had them on sale. Matter of fact, when I get off here, I'm gonna go and put them on sale again for a summer sale. But I
Hey.
want to get people out there and leave your emails with me, because I do have some things coming up, some 5-day breakthrough boot camps. I'm going to have them be coming up, and I want you guys to tap in. Tap in with Miss Day All Day. And if you think I'm too old for you, honey, then go tell your auntie and your mom.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you
And this
so
my
much.
partner over here. I love my partner. She's my sister friend. And we're going to be doing some adventures, honey. So just keep an eye out for us.
Yes. Now, I want y'all, I'm so happy that you came on with me today. I appreciate you so much. And like Miss Day L Day said, and I say it to y'all all the time, focus on what you are passionate about, because it is possible. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. And you can check us back next Wednesday, and we will see you again on A Face Behind the Brand. And I want y'all all to have a fabulous night and know that, again, it is possible to do whatever it is that you're passionate about. Have a good night, everyone.
Mwah. Ciao.